Hey everyone, welcome back to Origami Canada. As you notice, we're actually heading towards summer right now, but there's still cherry blossoms outside, and this is exactly what we're making today. As you can see, we've got a detail on the inside, and this one as well. This model is actually made from a pentagon, and I'll show you how to get to that. But also note that there's a step in it called open sync, and it might be a little bit challenging for you guys. But I think if you watch the video carefully, you should be able to make this model, and it's super pretty in the spring and summer. Hope you enjoy this model. So again, like always, we start with a square sheet of paper. And as I mentioned in the introduction, you will need to cut this paper into a pentagon. So let me show you how to do that. Let's first fold this square sheet in half like this. Again, make sure you line up all the corners and edges. That way you get the most accurate fold. So after you have this sheet of paper folded in half, I'm going to take one short edge. I'm going to line it up to the long edge. I'm just going to make a gentle crease like that. And then so I'm going to take the short edge and line it up with the other long edge. And so you create this intersection in the middle here. So that's what you want. And now this is the cool step. I'm just going to align this corner right there to the intersection. Okay. Like that. So far, so good. I'm going to make that crease. Okay. And so now we have this kind of shape. So you may wonder, how do we get to a pentagon? We're gonna align this edge now to the left one. So it's just folding it back. Make sure you're aligning everything accurately. So your model should look like this. Now we just flip it to the back and bring this edge over and just align it to the one at the back. It's kind of the same thing. You're just aligning all the edges. And you'll notice once you align this, try to align this one to this, it'll perfectly align this one as well. Like this. So now our model is like something like this. We want to flip on this side where there's a short edge here. And you'll notice this side is just like one big triangle with a tiny triangles. This side, there's more like different lines to it. We want to get to this side. And we just want to chop off everything above this line to form the pentagon. So I'm just gonna get right there and cut it like that. Just right on that edge. And magic, once you open this, you'll notice you have in front of yourself a pentagon. And actually, this is very useful because there's a rose model that's really pretty that also kind of starts with a pentagon. And so maybe I'll teach you guys that in the future. That's a super pretty model. But anyways, it's also a flower. So because we want more petals, I think this kind of different polygon will really do it. Will really make the flowers pretty. And so now we want to make sort of all the middle creases pointing outwards to the corners. We want to squeeze them, pinch them downwards like this. So you notice you should have like two that's already pointed downwards, or three if you look on the back. So there's 1, 2, 3 that's pointed downwards already. Let's just go to this side. It doesn't matter which side. We just want to stay on one side and pinch all of them backwards. So I'm just gonna pinch the other ones back like this. That's what I mean. Like that. Okay, so I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the corner pointing creases downwards. I pinch them downwards. Now I'm just gonna fold everything together. So it's like the triangle base, but we're dealing with like not a square, but it's the same thing on a pentagon. So again, we form this triangle, but instead of the square base where we have 4 layers, now we actually have 5. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the top, and it's a triangle on the side. So with this kind of triangle base, obviously you can't really make it the same layers on each side. So I'm just gonna say let's put 3 on the right and 2 layers on the left. It doesn't really matter. So I'm actually gonna point the tip of this triangle So the tip is the closed end, okay? Not these corners. So it's gonna be the closed end where all the creases radiate outwards from. So it's gonna be this top corner. I'm gonna line it right to the base in the middle. Make a sharp crease like this. And we're gonna fold that tip back up. Okay, and try to sharpen this crease, okay? Because we're gonna open this model and perform what we call an open sink, which I think I mentioned was kind of the hard part of this model, but don't worry, I'll show you guys closely and slowly on how to do that step. Okay, so I'm gonna unfold these two creases. Now we're gonna open it up like this. I'm opening it up from the top, but we're gonna open it up from the bottom. We're gonna go to the bottom side basically. So if you are doing this step, just open it up from the bottom of the fold or of the triangle base. So once you open it up from the bottom, you'll notice how instead of the creases radiating to the corner pointing downwards, they're upwards now because we're looking on the opposite side. So if you're at the bottom of this triangle base, you'll notice how once you open it, you have like two pentagon creases, right? And so from the on the bottom of the triangle base, which again, I don't want to confuse you guys, because when we have the triangle base, we open it up from the bottom. And then if we look from the top, it's like all the radiating creases are pointing downwards like this to the corners. And if you look on the bottom, all these creases are pointing upwards. Like on the side, it looks like a valley. That's what I mean by pointing upwards. So again, we're on the bottom half of the triangle base. So I'm gonna find the inner pentagon and pinch the creases of the edges of the inner pentagon all downwards like this. So just follow the creases you have and just pinch all of them downwards. That's in preparation for the open sink. Okay, so we just pointed everything downwards. So as you can see, like this whole pentagon is pointed downwards. Now we go to the top of the triangle base, which again was when the creases from the middle to the corner is pinched downwards. And we're gonna pinch the outside pentagon downwards. So the important thing is that the inner one and the outer one is on like different sides. So this one is pinched downwards, this one goes upwards like that. But on the back, it's obviously the other way around. So I'm gonna pinch this one downwards. This is the open sink. If you guys have done open sink before, then you don't really need to listen to my explanation, because you'll kind of get it intuitively. But you'll notice how as the outer pentagon gets pinched downwards, it'll connect with these corner creases that we already have. And that's how you know you did it correct. And this part will want to pop upwards because of the alternating crease that we did. So we're just gonna follow these creases and squeeze them together. This is the open sink part. And the bottom, if it doesn't want to completely come up, put your finger below the paper and just give it some help maybe. And if you squeeze everything together properly, then you'll get this parallelogram. You'll get this trapezoid. And if you open up the crease again, you'll notice how you have the two pentagons. So I'll show you that one more time, just briefly. So again, we had this triangular base. We're gonna open it up from the bottom and pinch down the inner pentagon like this. And then we flip to the back where it was the top of the triangle base, where these corners are pinched downwards. And we're gonna pinch the outside pentagon downwards like this. And then we're gonna, connect the outer pentagon creases. It'll connect automatically with the corners pinched down. And you'll notice when you try to bring these edges inside, the bottom one will try to stick up because of the creases you made. If it doesn't, again, just try to push it up, give it some help. But naturally, it'll come together like this, like a kind of a star, as you can see. Naturally, it comes together like this. And then once you close it, it should be just a nice trapezoid. That's how you know you got it. That's the open sink. So I'm gonna rotate this trapezoid now with the shorter edge pointing toward the bottom. I'm gonna fold up a triangle like this on the right side. And the top of this triangle should be like parallel with the ground or the bottom edge. Okay, we're gonna fold this flap over and align it. It's the same thing, the right one. And then we're gonna move that unfolded one there just to balance out the layers on each side. And I'm gonna move this unfolded flap over again and just line it up. It's gonna be the same on each flap. I'm gonna adjust the layers, move one over, move this one to the front, and then again, align it. And then the last one, you can do this however you want, but just align it. And it's always gonna be the right one, the right flap, because the left one is done on the other side, as you can see. So just make it consistent. You don't really see this part in the end, but make it consistent so it's easier to form the actual petals. Now we have this kind of shape. We want to take one side, and you'll notice the middle already kind of squeezes downwards, but we want to squeeze it again like that, like we always had in this model. Just squeeze everything sort of in the, if you look on the side, it's a mountain. It's the mountain fold. So I'm gonna align that middle part with the edge we just created here. So I'm just gonna like fold it like this with the middle part folded. And you'll notice we have this like V shape here. So again, I just pinched the middle part down and then shifted it, aligned it to this edge we created with the triangle here. Like that. And now I'm gonna lock this, because if you open it up, of course you'll form the petal, but it kind of falls apart like that. So I'm gonna just make a fold like this, kind of not right at the tip, so a little bit over, like make a little round off this kind of edge here, so make the petal a little bit sharper, I guess. But once you do that, this part will also want to come down, and so just try to make them symmetrical, again, into like a V shape. That's how you lock these layers together, as you can see from the front. It's like that. And I'll show you again. There's many more opportunities that I can show you this. So we're gonna do this on every part. So the middle of the paper, first you squeeze it, and then you align it with the edge here. Like this. And then you fold a corner kind of down, like a little bit over that part. So you bring these edges up, and then you try to make the other side. And you can, and if you think this is like, for example, this one, this part is bigger than this, so we can adjust it a little bit. We can adjust the angle of this fold. Let's adjust it a tiny bit, and then try to make this one the same as the other one. So this is like all about shaping now. And you can see this one, I just made it more similar to this one. And within itself, they're pretty similar on both sides. And again, it locks it in place. So another one, again, pinch the middle one downwards, align it with the edge here, and then make a fold down, bringing these layers up, and then squeeze it flat. Oh, this one came pretty nicely. And you can kind of, it's not gonna lie flat, as I said, because you've opened up the petal. So just like make every fold kind of sharp, and it'll turn out really nicely. This one as well, middle part squeeze down, line it up on the side here, and then bring down this part to form the side of the petals. A little V here. Try to make these sides the same and consistent throughout. One more, last one. pinch the middle part and then align it with that. This edge, align it with this edge, I mean. And I'm gonna do this triangle, fold it down again. And a tip that you can do, I guess, is that this part is gonna be horizontal with the ground, almost. Or like, it's horizontal with the ground. Obviously, it's gonna be different for everyone, but if you try to follow that guideline, it should turn out nicely. Okay, so we're done the last one. And if you look on top, you basically have a cherry blossom. We're just gonna kind of flatten the middle of each petal, like this part, make it more three-dimensional. Well, I mean, make this part more flat and just make the overall model more neat. And again, these connection parts, just squeeze them to make it like flat here. And then the part in the middle, you can kind of fold this more on this edge to make the star more straight in the middle. Just some minor adjustments, and you can open up the middle a little bit. Just by putting your finger kind of in the middle, and you can adjust it a little bit. But yeah, that's the cherry blossom. So this is a really pretty model if you make lots of it and small ones and put them in your room as decorations. So I hope you guys really like this model. I know it was a little bit more challenging. I suggest you watch the OpenSync part repeatedly, and I think eventually you'll get it. Hope you guys have a great summer, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and see you next time.